Hello and welcome back to Chellington Valley. As you can see, I am in a lorry. I have borrowed Jack's lorry and I am moving around David's very narrow yard with a rather large animal trailer. I've leased this large animal trailer rather than using the small one that the animal dealer has and lets us have access to. And I've done that simply because it's a very narrow yard and I've already clipped a gate once on my way in. I would rather do as few trips as possible in the narrow yard. So I've worked out I should be able to, with all the cows and the capacity of this, should be able to do just 2 trips with this rather than 9 with the other one. Well, we are here and we made it without incident despite the lack of footage. So now we would just drop these off here. Let's unload them all. It's a fairly good price for them actually. That's very good. Okay, we only get half of that, but there's another, not quite full load, that was a full load of animals. There's another about 3/4 load of cows to come. So, I will go and get those and see you after we've made the delivery. Well, we are all done with our second trip, the cattle. So I now need to drop this trailer off back at the dealership just down here. And then the lorry will need to go back to Farmer Jack's. We obviously need to pay some of the money back to David because the dealership have just given the money to us for ease. But we have made about £100,000 from this, just looking after some cows for him, which is great. And that's just on the cows alone. We've still also got all of the manure from when we were looking after them as well. Just coming down to field 6 and it is very narrow trying to get this new combine down here. You may have noticed that Mark has arrived. He is in the country because he's setting up a new farm, and he's popped over because I mentioned about the issues we were having obviously with our harvest and what have you, and things not quite going to plan. So he's popped down to help us out and just be an extra farm hand for us. So he actually has towed the header down with his little ridge track, and he is eventually, I'll get us started, but he's going to run the harvester. Susie's going to come down in the 8340 with the trailer and run the grain trailer for him, and I am going to head off with the T8 to the dealership because I have leased something very special to deal with the straw on this field. Oh goodness, I'm struggling down this narrow entrance again. Right, let's stop and get this gate open. So, I figured we've got lots of straw bales already. We've taken a lot of straw bales off the field, and it would be quite nice to actually do something different with our straw, as this will probably get sold anyway. So I've leased this. This is the Krone Primos 5000, and this is a pelletizing machine. So whereas our baler picks up the straw and presses it into bales and then wraps those bales with some string, what this does is it takes the straw and it compacts it down into pellets. So if I zoom back here and just show you here, so you can see just across the top there, the pellets are coming up from the internals of the machine just in here, and then being dropped via the conveyor belt down, and they look a little like this. Now, this is a very expensive piece of machinery. It's about 320,000 to buy. It's cost me 16,000 just to lease it, and it needs 350 horsepower to run. Now, we've got 380 in this New Holland, so I'm hoping that should just about be okay. But this is not the sort of machine we could afford to buy and have on our farm and just run all our straw through. This is a kind of one-off lease. Oh, it should not have cut out just then. Come on. Come on. Yeah, we're going up a slight incline, aren't we? Oh no. I was really struggling up this hill. I've got a mechanic on standby to upgrade the engine in the T8, but it's going to take a couple of hours. We should be fine because we're not due for rain until 9 o'clock tonight, and so we've got plenty of time before it rains. So I think that might be what we do. Hello from the editing suite. As you can see, this is Mark, who is running the manure spreader for me on field 2, which doesn't have a crop in it yet. He has taken the 8340 from Susie. She wasn't going to complain because she would rather not do the smelly spreading. And yeah, he's taken the 8340. He did try hooking the rigid track up. A, it looked hilarious because it was absolutely tiny, and B, it just didn't have the power to run the muck spreader, so he's had to borrow the 8340. So I will leave you to a time lapse of him running that for me. Hello again. You are still watching footage of Mark in the 8340 He's now got the Agramash mulch harrow on the back of the 8340. I'm still with the mechanic. Most of the engine is now out. He's just doing the putting the new bits back in. We are hoping that Outstanding Foods will take us up again on our contract to provide vegan oats for them. They are coming later today to collect our stock for them, so hopefully upon inspection they will be happy. Right, I'm back from the mechanic with the T8 upgraded. However, you might tell I am slightly miffed with the weather reporters. Supposed 9 o'clock rain has come at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. This straw is now drenched, so I can't hope to pellet it in this rain. It is also going to rot in the rain, so if I come back tomorrow, it won't be any good. So I think what we're going to do, set this pelleter up in our yard, and we will use some of the straw we've already got to make straw pellets. So here is my plan. As you can see, I've set up underneath the shelter so we are not being rained on. We've got the T8 attached to the Primos, and I have also leased this, which is the bale shredding unit for the Primos. So the front cover here comes off and this unit attaches on, and then what you can do is you bring a bale along, offer it up to the machine, and it will shred the bale. So the T8 will need to be running, and we will get this machine running. As you can see, I've docked the Rolland trailer underneath as well. This bale shredder is now running off the power of the engine. As a slightly annoying £30,000 upgrade we've just put on the T8 to be able to pull this. But you know, it would have run on 380 horsepower stationary. In fact, it would probably actually have run even lower than that stationary. let's not get too grumpy about it, shall we? I'm trying to just roll with this. Mark is apparently having a bit of a nightmare setting up his new farm. It seems to be going for him setting up his new farm about as well as my manual bale handling is going for me. You know what I'm like with my manual bale handling. Come on. There we go. Yes, I'm really thinking so that we can use the nice bale fork, that we might have to invest in our own telehandler. So there we go, that is an entire bale going through the bale shredding unit and subsequently being pelleted. I don't know about you, it's the processes of some of these machines that just absolutely blow my mind. To avoid you having to listen to me absolutely prattling on about straw and the fantastic processes that we can put it through, I'm gonna carry on doing this and I will catch up with you in a little while. Well, the outstanding foods lorry has arrived and we are loading him up from our silo. Did you notice he clipped my gate on the way in? Right, I'll go and fetch him. He's just out the front of the farm having a fresh air break. And then send him on his way. Hopefully he doesn't clip the other side. Well, as you'll have seen, I took the Primos back because I really don't want to keep that, and it's a massive leasing fee to keep it until tomorrow. So I'm on my final job of the evening. You may have noticed earlier that our new vending machine has arrived. So this will allow us to sell milk and eggs directly from our farm. So we're not going to supermarkets or corner shops. They're coming directly from our farm, which is great for us because it means that we get a premium. We can sell our eggs ourselves and we get to keep all of the money. We're not selling them through a third party who are trying to profit. It also means that because our chickens are now organic fed, we pass certain marks and we can sell them for a much higher price. I am very happy with that number. With that, I'm going to call it an end to this episode. Thank you very much for watching. Please jump on the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed, share the video with your friends, and most importantly of all, have a great day.